I am Hannah May A.K. Menyes and I belong to the third group of Section 1-3 who are tasked to present cultural awareness and varieties of English on our assigned continent, North America. First, to describe the culture of North America, let us call on Ate Ali.
Thank you, Hannah May. So the United States of America is the dominant part of North America. Its culture and heritage is rich and varied, and it has influenced many different cultures around the world. And within the North American continent as well. Apart from the US, Canada and Mexico are also part of North America, and there are subtle but specific differences in its culture from the American culture. The United States. The American culture is a great confluence of its original native culture and a strong European influence in many parts of the country. Highly freedom-oriented and cosmopolitan nature, Americans are very enthusiastic people who have a great zest for life. Canada. The Canadian culture has been traditionally influenced by British and French cultures. Core Canadian values include fairness, equality, inclusiveness, and social justice. Canada generally have a very open and accepting attitude towards other cultures and religions. Mexico. Mexico is a North American country bordering the United States, Guatemala, and Belize. It is extremely geographically diverse, with deserts, high mountains, and tropical coastlines. The dominant culture of Mexico reflects a blend of indigenous and Spanish customs. However, traditions vary greatly across the country. Each region generally has a unique cultural identity and cuisine, folk songs, and craftsmanship.
Thank you, Ate Ali, for that informative background about North America. Now let's proceed with the communication practices of the people in North America, starting with their verbal and non-verbal communication practices to be reported by Ate Clary.
That's right. So, there are two types of communication that are usually seen in North America. The first type is verbal communication. This is the use of sound and words to communicate with each other. This is an example of verbal communication because I am speaking using words for you to understand what I am saying. In North America, the most spoken language is English. There are different dialects and accents in various parts of the continent, which will be discussed later. There are also language variation between the older generation, young generation living in the cities, immigrants, and people living in the countryside areas. In North America, it is not considered rude to be direct. That is why verbal communication is given much more importance. The second type of communication is non-verbal communication. This type of communication is rarely used in North America because they are a low context culture, meaning that they rely heavily on explicit verbal communication. It is important to have eye contact, otherwise it may seem disrespectful to them. Their way of greeting is a firm handshake and a direct eye contact. Silence between conversation in North America may seem awkward and uncomfortable, and Americans also use hand movements and index fingers for emphasis to their words.
Now I know that I should be straightforward when talking with the North Americans because they might misinterpret me. Oh no, I don't want that to happen. Thank you, Ate Clary, for informing us all. Next, to teach us the distinction and nuances in North America, we give you Kuya Dwayne.
Thank you, Hannah. There are various dialects that can be found from North America. In the United States, there is no law that states the English language as the official language of the United States, but it is still the de facto national language that is used in the public and private sectors. Chicano, Ebonics, and General Standard English are some of the dialects in this continent. Ebonics, which is also called as the African American English. Ebonics pronunciation includes features like the omission of the final consonant in words like past and hand. The pronunciation of the TH in bath as T in bat and F in bath. And the pronunciation of the vowel in words like my and dried as a long ah, which turns my into ma and dried into rod. Chicano English, which is also called as Mexican American English, covers both English learned as a second language by people of Mexican American heritage and the native English of speakers of Mexican American background. Typical phonological features are the vowel sound of sheep for sheep, the use of S for Z, the S of present pronounced like the C of decent, confusion over CH and SH as in chip and ship, and chicken for chicken. General American English is considered as the standard pronunciation of American English, and it is the accent spoken throughout the USA. Canadian English is usually hard to understand due to the pronunciation of Canadians calling it the Canadian style. Canadian English averagely resembles the British pronunciations, such as saying OU instead of O in words like honor and collar, and they also tend to add RE to words with a short R. Sounds such as center, fiber, and spectre. Canadian French is described to differ from Parisian French due to terms which are considered to be old-fashioned terms. Linguistics call the difference between them as archaisms. For Mexico, majority of the people speak Spanish rather than their indigenous languages. There are more than 130 indigenous languages, and 68 are Mexican indigenous language. The primary indigenous language used by Mexicans is called the Nahuatl, which is a part of the Uto-Aztecan family of language.
Oh, now I know! Thank you, Kuya Dwayne! And now, for the varieties of English, we have here two reporters, Kuya John and Kuya Nicola. Kuya John and Nicola?
Oh, thank you, Hannah. So, I'm Jonal.
I'm
And
Nicolo.
we're here today to give you some vocabs in North America that are uniquely used, unique terms. Okay, so
Let's start off with
America.
America.
Okay, so the first word is cattywampus. Cattywampus. So it is an American term describing something as a little crooked and a little out of whack. It is a perfect word to describe all those back roads in Alabama. Okay, so the next word is flake. You all have that friend. You make plans with them. They're set in stone and then suddenly they ditch you. Americans call them a flake. Flake. Bro,
Yes,
I'm Jonesy for Coca-Cola.
Jones. What does that mean?
Jonesy. So, if an American says that they're Jonesy for Coca-Cola, well, they are basically craving for Coca-Cola.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so therefore, Jonesing is more likely associated with craving. Jonesing. Going to a concert can be very expensive, but you always have a choice to sit up high in the rafters where the cheap seats are located. So high, perhaps, you get a nosebleed. Americans call these seats as the nosebleed seats. Bro, do you know that you're a podunk?
I'm a podunk. What's a podunk?
Podunk. This word is used to describe something small,
Huh? Small.
something boring,
No.
out of the way, and overall insignificant.
Ah.
Yeah. Americans commonly use this to describe small towns, basically. Next word, riding shotgun. Does not literally mean that you will ride a shotgun. Or what do you mean by riding a shotgun?
I think it means that if you're the driver,
Yeah.
the seat next to you is.
Riding the shotgun. Yeah, that's actually it.
Bro, we should play ball tomorrow.
Bro, let's take a rain check.
Rain check.
Yeah,
It's
rain
not
check.
even raining.
No, man. Take a rain check. It means rescheduling.
Oh.
Yeah, rescheduling or postponing an appointment. Yeah. The word originated in giving a baseball fans another ticket for a game when one was rained out.
Oh, sad.
Rain check.
Bro, I like this. Can I have it?
Bro,
Please,
stop
please.
it. Bro, stop it. I'll kick you in the nuts.
Huh? Kick you in the nuts. What does that mean?
Yeah, we don't have a nut in our body, but angry Americans use this phrase, I'll kick you in the nut, which technically means to kick you in your genitals, which
That's
could crack like nut.
Mm.
So So stop it.
Sorry, bro.
Stop it, bro.
Sorry.
Bro, where go? Bro, sorry, bro. Bro, it's just a joke.
So what is up, vlog? So I'm here today. I'm going solo right now because I think John is mad at me. You know, my brother John.
Bro.
You know.
Oh.
Hey, what's up,
Bro, why did you left me at the library?
bro? I thought you was mad at me, bro.
I'm just joking, man.
Oh,
I love you.
I love you too,
I
bro.
love you too.
Can you
What?
help me film this?
No problem. Dude.
Okay,
Let
okay.
me have it.
So the first word of the Canadians use A, the word A. So they use this word so that they turn into a statement, into a friendly question. It's like, it's a nice day today. So that's a statement. If you add A at the last part of this statement, it goes like, it's a good day today, eh? So the next word is washroom. See? As you can see, I'm in the washroom right now. So in US terms, it's called restroom, right? But the Canadians think that using the word restroom is too vulgar, so they changed it to washroom. Yes? Whew. Hey bro, my mosun muscle. Dude, no. Stop.
What's that?
Mosun muscle. It's called beer belly here in Canada. Don't you know that? So mosun muscle is basically the beer belly. So as you know, Canadians love drinking beer. So they called it the mosun muscle. What's up? What do you call this? It's called the backpack in US. But in Canada, it's called the knapsack. Come on, let's go.
That was something fun to learn. Thank you, Kuya John and Kuya Nicolo. And last but definitely not the least, to share with us his knowledge on the nature of communication of North America, let us call on the most handsome Kuya Nathaniel.
I know. So, what is nature of communication? First, we have to define what nature is. Nature is a quality or a behavior of a person. In terms of communication, nature is a behavioral interaction or how a person communicates with other people. So, I've divided nature of communication into three parts: the United States of America, Mexico, and Canada. So first, let's go to the USA. You see, Americans are described as task-centered people. They won't hesitate to say no or criticize their peers in public. Because of their direct style of communicating, foreigners would tend to interpret this into their behavior. Common stereotypes that are labeled on Americans are that they are loud and full of themselves. That is not the case, because Americans only express themselves very freely. Now on to number 2. The western part of the world is believed to be individualistic. Though Mexico is part of the western expanse, they practice Eastern beliefs such as close integration of family in their culture. This is true and also their communication. They have a subtle or indirect way of communicating, or a non-confrontational way, unlike Americans. Now on to number 3. Canada. Canadians have a slightly indirect approach in communication. They typically have a passive voice, but they will still say what they mean. By doing this, they would not seem aggressive to other nationalities, meaning they would not be misinterpreted into rude behavior. This may have caused a stereotype that Canadians are one of the most nicest people, but in reality, they just practice a proper and orderly way of communicating.
Thank you, Kuya Pogi. And that ends our presentation. We hope you learned something new and significant about North America. Thanks for watching!